Every year across the United States, the killers aren't always monsters in the wild. Sometimes they live right beside us. In dark woods, quiet swamps, lonely highways, and even family homes, animals you'd never suspect turn deadly. They move fast, strike without warning, and leave behind chaos that feels almost random. These are the silent killers hiding in plain sight, the ones that turn routine moments into tragedy. We're counting down the deadliest animals in America. From the quietest threat to the ultimate killer. 8. Cougar, mountain lion. At number 8, we have the cougar, mountain lion. Silent, fast, and built to stalk, the mountain lion claims 1 to 2 American lives every year. These attacks are rare, but when they happen, they're surgical. One leap, one bite, one silence. The western states carry almost every case. California, Colorado, and Washington are the key hotspots. Between 1890 and 2025, fewer than 30 people have died from cougar attacks in the United States, but most happened after 2000 as housing crept deeper into wild terrain. Deer populations exploded near suburbs, and the cougars followed. Picture a jogger on a dawn trail in Boulder County, or a child walking a pet near foothills in San Diego County. The lion doesn't warn, it calculates. When it moves, it covers 40 feet in a single bound. Its bite lands on the neck, aiming for the spine or windpipe. Wildlife cameras keep catching more sightings east of the Rockies. Even in Iowa and Illinois, the species is reclaiming ground it lost a century ago. The rule for hikers is simple. If you lock eyes, don't run. Stand tall, shout, and fight if attacked. Cougars test weakness, not courage. 7. Bison. At number 7, we have the bison, a symbol of the American frontier, and the reason rangers lose sleep every summer. The bison kills around 1 person per year, but injures over 180 visitors in Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks combined. Each bull can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and reach 35 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. A charging bison doesn't need horns to kill. The impact alone can break bones or throw a person 10 feet into the air. Most victims are tourists. They see a calm herd, step closer for a photo, and forget that this is still a wild animal. In June 2024, a 47-year-old visitor from Kansas was gored after walking within 20 feet of a bull near Yellowstone's Fountain Paint Pot Trail. The park's official distance rule is 75 feet minimum from bison and 300 feet from bears or wolves. But every season, someone ignores it. The photo never posts. The ambulance does. If your phone can frame the bison without zooming in, you're already too close. 6. Moose. At number 6, we have the moose. Massive, moody, and completely unpredictable. These towering beasts are responsible for 2 to 3 deaths each year in the U.S., mostly across Alaska, Maine, and northern Minnesota. They're not predators, just territorial giants. A full-grown bull moose stands 7 feet tall at the shoulder and weighs over 1,200 pounds. When it decides you're too close, there's no warning, just a head dip, a snort, and a charge that can crush a ribcage in seconds. Roughly half of moose-related fatalities come from vehicle collisions. Because their legs are long and their center of mass is high, when a car hits a moose, the animal's body crashes through the windshield, often killing both driver and animal. And on trails, it's even worse. In 2023, Alaska wildlife rangers documented 14 attacks on hikers, including 2 fatalities. The cause is almost always the same. Someone gets too close while photographing a cow and her calf. The mother defends instantly. Locals in Anchorage follow one golden rule. If the ears pin back and the hair rises, get behind something solid. Running won't help. They can hit 30 miles per hour over snow. 5. Alligator. At number 5, we have the alligator. Ancient, armored, and everywhere in the South. These prehistoric predators kill 1 to 2 Americans every year, nearly all in Florida and Louisiana, where neighborhoods meet swamp edges. There are over 1.3 million alligators in Florida alone, and wildlife officers remove about 7,000 nuisance gators annually. ones found near homes, golf ponds, and canals. Fatal attacks follow a chilling pattern. A pet near the waterline, a person stepping too close, then the sudden surge. In May 2024, a 69-year-old woman in Tampa was pulled underwater while walking her dog by a retention pond. Her body surfaced a mile downstream. The gator measured 11 feet 7 inches. The bite force of an adult alligator exceeds 2,100 pounds per square inch, enough to shatter bone instantly. Victims rarely bleed out. They drown when the gator performs its infamous death roll, twisting until the lungs fill. If you live or travel in the Gulf states, remember this. Every pond or ditch deserves respect. Alligators don't hiss before they strike. The water just moves, and then it's already too late. If you're enjoying this already, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Fur Facts. Here we post exciting facts and stories from around the world. 4. Snakes at number 4. We have snakes. They don't chase, they don't roar, they wait. Across the southern and southwestern U.S., venomous snakes bite around 7,000 to 8,000 people every year. Most survive, but 5 to 10 die, usually because help came too late. Rattlesnakes cause about 90% of all fatal cases. Their range stretches across Arizona, Texas, Florida, and New Mexico, and they strike only when stepped on, grabbed, or startled. From 1989 to 2018, the U.S. logged over 100 fatal snake bites, nearly all in rural or desert zones far from hospitals. The story rarely changes. Someone clears brush, lifts firewood, or reaches under rocks. One hidden coil, one split-second strike, and the race begins. The venom can paralyze muscles, destroy tissue, and drop blood pressure within minutes. Antivenom saves most victims, but timing is everything. In Texas alone, emergency calls for snake bites exceed 1,500 per year, especially in hill country and southern ranch lands. One wrong step, and the desert answers back. If you work or hike where rattlesnakes roam, wear thick boots and gloves, and never try to handle or kill one. Most bites happen during that mistake. You can't out-reflex a creature built for speed at ground level. 3. Farm animals. At number 3, we have farm animals. Quiet fields, horses grazing, cows in pens. It all looks peaceful until something goes wrong. Every year, 30 to 40 Americans are killed and hundreds injured by large domestic animals like cows, bulls, and horses. These aren't wild encounters. They happen on ranches, barns, rodeos, and dairy farms where people think they're safest. Cows alone account for about 20 deaths a year, mostly from blunt force trauma, a kick to the chest, a crush against a gate, or a trampling after a fall. Horses add another 10 to 15 deaths, often from falls, head injuries, or crush accidents. Together, they form one of the most consistent and underestimated causes of animal-related fatalities in the U.S. The danger isn't aggression, it's size, speed, and reflex. A dairy cow can weigh 1,200 to 1,800 pounds. A draft horse can top 2,000. One startled movement, and that power becomes lethal. In Nebraska, 2023, a dairy worker was trampled after a cow panicked during feeding. In Oklahoma, a ranch hand was crushed in a chute. In Kentucky, a 14-year-old girl died when a horse reared and fell backward. According to agricultural safety surveys, farmers face 5 times the national fatal injury rate, with animal handling among the top causes. Even experienced workers get caught, because familiarity dulls caution. As one rancher said, "You stop seeing danger when you feed it every morning." Horse-related injuries send around 100,000 people to emergency rooms each year. A single kick or fall can shatter bones or rupture organs. Even petting farms and county fairs have tragedies, like the 2024 Missouri case, where a toddler was fatally kicked during a photo op. It wasn't malice, it was instinct. The takeaway? Respect, not fear. Never walk directly behind or between animals. Secure gates. Keep kids back. Calm doesn't mean safe. And on a farm, routine can turn fatal in a heartbeat. 2. Domestic dogs. At number 2, we have domestic dogs. Man's best friend also happens to be America's second deadliest animal every single year. Between 40 and 50 Americans die annually from dog attacks, and the trend hasn't slowed. From 2018 to 2024, there were over 400 fatal maulings nationwide, and more than 4.5 million bites reported each year. About 800,000 of those bites lead to emergency room visits. The most common victims? Children under 5 and seniors over 65. The two most vulnerable age groups. Kids get bitten on the head or neck simply because they're at eye level. Older adults can't fight back once a large dog commits to an attack. Most fatal encounters happen at home or in familiar yards, not in dark alleys or strange places. These aren't wild predators. They're family pets, neighbor dogs, or animals people trusted. One moment of stress, noise, or confusion is all it takes to flip that instinct switch. Breeds aren't destiny, but statistics tell stories. In fatal cases, pit bulls, Rottweilers, Mastiffs, and large mixed breeds dominate the numbers. A pit bull's bite force can exceed 300 pounds per square inch, and when pack behavior triggers, they strike fast and without pause. In Texas, 2024, a 71-year-old man was killed after 3 dogs escaped a broken gate. In Florida, a 3-year-old girl died after trying to play near her family's dogs' food bowls. But the real issue isn't breed, it's training, environment, and control. Unneutered males, neglected animals, and unstable homes produce the worst outcomes. Local agencies investigate nearly 20,000 severe bites annually, most involving dogs known to the victim. The fix is simple but serious. Supervise children, especially during feeding or playtime. Never leave multiple large dogs alone, and learn canine body language. Stiff tails, pinned ears, and growls aren't cute. They're warnings. Dog attacks destroy more than lives. They shatter trust between humans and the animals we call family. Love your dog, but never forget, respect saves lives. 1. Deer. And here comes the final. Number 1, the deadliest animal in America. The deer. No claws, no venom, no growl. Yet deer kill more Americans than any other animal. Between 200 and 440 deaths every year, almost all from vehicle collisions. Each year, an estimated 1.5 to 2 million car deer crashes happen across the United States, causing roughly 59,000 injuries and billions in damage. The danger peaks in October and November, during rut season, when deer are distracted, fast-moving, and unpredictable. The worst hit states? West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Montana. In West Virginia, the odds of hitting a deer are 1 in 40, the highest in the nation. Rural highways slice through forest corridors, and by dusk, those roads belong to wildlife. It happens in an instant. Headlights, a flash of fur, a swerve, screeching tires, shattering glass. The deer usually dies on impact. The driver or passengers might not. In Wisconsin, 2023, a mother and her teenage son were killed when their SUV struck 2 deer and flipped. In Montana, a motorcyclist died after hitting a buck head-on at dusk. These aren't freak accidents. They happen every single day. Highways near woodlands are most dangerous at dawn and dusk, when visibility drops and deer move to feed. They travel in small herds, so where there's one, there's always more coming. To fight the risk, states are testing motion-triggered lights, infrared sensors, and wildlife overpasses. Some towns use sonic deterrents that activate when cars approach, but technology hasn't beaten instinct yet. Experts say the only real defense is awareness. Keep high beams on when safe. Slow below 55 miles per hour in forest zones. Never swerve sharply, brake straight instead. Every fall, police remind drivers, the deer don't look both ways. And every year, hundreds of families learn that lesson the hardest way. The deadliest animal in America doesn't bite or stalk. It just runs. and we're the ones in its path. Every year, nature reminds us who's really in charge. From quiet trails to crowded highways, these animals turn ordinary moments into life or death seconds. Stay alert, stay smart, and never underestimate what lives around you. Subscribe for more real-world wildlife breakdowns, where survival meets the unexpected.